Good evening, this is Fred of Fred Fights. I wanted to rant to you for 5 minutes just about strapped shields. First thing, the reason why I'm doing this is over the last 2 years, myself and Rob over my shoulder there have been working out our own methodology for using strapped shields. Disclaimer, this is not based off any manuscripts because there aren't any. We have borrowed the odd strike or idea from the likes of I-33, and apparently we've bumbled into some stuff that is common in Rotella as well. But we've not looked at them. Now, this isn't to say that we don't think that there's value in manuscripts, because there absolutely is. However, for this, we are entirely based on percussive education, as we call it. AKA, if we did something and got hit, it was a bad idea and we stopped doing it. So, what I'm going to rant about is one of the most common things people talk to us about or tell us to do, which is extend the board as you strike. It's I-33, that's basically what it is. It doesn't work with a strapped heater, I'm going to say that now. And there's a few reasons. First, if you look at where my hand is, there's a strap right there, so that's a point of control. There is at most 2 to 3 inches between the board edge and my knuckles. This is not the same as a buckler where you've got the thick end of 6 to 8 inches with some of them. So pushing this out, whilst it does cover a bit of my hand, it leaves my shoulder completely open. Rob, can you just come in? Yeah. What I'm now going to get Rob to do is to attack my shoulder as if I've put this cut out. All I'm going to do is this, and he can step right in, and as you can see there, he's made contact straight away. Because he's using an axe, and we know axes are prevalent, it's gone right around the shield edge, and at 45 degrees it's gone straight into the meat of my arm. So all I've done there is, yeah, all right, I've protected my hand, but I've sacrificed the use of my arm, because you're not going to be able to do much with an axe sticking out of it. Now, there's someone put a comment on why using a 1-2 motion. The reason for this is board jabs are distracting. They're not intended to hit. Half the time when we do these, we are doing it to distract the person, because from here, as you can see, this covers a reasonably large amount of me. If I push it out, all of a sudden, it covers a lot more of me, which means I'm harder to see, as is my blade, because from there, I could be up to any horrible stuff. So, we do use the weapons, because we do class this as a combined weapon set, in an alternating fashion. It's not intended as a, I'm going to jab and I'm just constantly doing this. Board jabs are used to disorientate and distract your opponent, because the hindbrain sees something big moving towards you and attacks it. Once their blade is on my board, Rob, if you would, I know where that is now, and the second he starts to move it away, I can do something about it, because the board still translates a certain amount of information to me. So, why don't we extend when we strike? If I'm constantly doing this with all of my strikes, firstly, it stops me really from effectively striking over my own edge, because this has a crown point. Secondly, 99% of the hits I've taken in the 600 bouts we've done over the last 3 years, if I've taken a hit to my weapon arm, it's come from my weapon arm side, because that's the bit that's open. The board, to rotate, is blocking everything on the shield side. The weapon side is open. If you can deal with that initial cut, all of a sudden that's there. At which point, alternating makes more sense, because now, having put my cut out and failed, the alternation and twist of torso brings the shield back into play and stops my opponent from getting my arm. This is a very short rant, for which I'm sure you're all very grateful. But essentially, it's just to start to look at the difference between strapped shields and centre grips, of which Rotella is a strapped, buckler is a centre grip, Viking round is a centre grip. For those who do use heaters with Rotella methodology, it's not wrong, carry on doing it. Just be aware that the triangular shape completely changes the weight and heft. Rob, can you drop me into the trailing edge? So straight away there, you can see the entire board shifted. That was completely involuntary. It's got mass. Once you get a hit in at that lower edge, it's going to move. Now, it may not move a lot, or it might sometimes move all the way up. You don't get that with a Rotella because it's round. The other thing with a Rotella is it doesn't matter where you hold your arm, you're always going to present a circle. With one of these, this is my arm at full extension. I've now opened up all of my torso and quite a lot more of leg. If I rotate to my arm being at 45 where the strap sits, suddenly the shield is doing something for me. If I want to be funky and I move it all the way around here, it's starting to be very awkward. I've now completely opened up my leg and I've got the board in my face. So there are things that you can do with both. Fully advocate having a play with that. But these are a very, very different beast and they handle differently. There's more weight, more inertia. We'll probably do more of these in the coming months. Hopefully less ranty. If you've got any thoughts, add them in.